Bleh. What is going on? Well, it looks like we're about to push over the finish line. I can't I don't know well, okay, I know what happened. And it wasn't me. But I'm happy to have helped in some fashion. And a lot of people have been telling me my video was useful in sending to people to explain stop killing games. So, I'll accept 1% of credit, but 99% of the credit goes to the SKG guys who started the movement and Ross for spearheading it and like putting himself in front of this. But this is awesome. It looks like it's going to happen maybe nowish. I know it says 0 now. It's because I'm reloading, but everyone's like reloading and reloading and reloading. I tried to look at the EU petition page, but unfortunately, it just forever loads. So for now, we'll just use this one. This one directly links the API into the final tally. I believe that's what it's doing. Because I've seen it update now a few times, and I was pretty impressed. Someone messaged me earlier that it was at 940,000. I'm like, oh wow. I was surprised. Though I guess not that surprised. They were pretty confident on the SKG Discord that this was going to happen now, and it looks like yeah, they were right. But and this is important. Just hitting 1 million is great, but I think the goal is actually to go 20% more to get 1.2 million, because there could be a lot of fake signatures in there or things that get rejected for a variety of reasons. We don't know what might happen. But we've hit the threshold in every country, so it's just the total number of signatures that matter. And I think that we can get 1.2 because we still have until I think it's the 31st. I believe. I believe it's till the 31st. So I think it's super critical that we keep pushing and informing people and stating the facts about what Stop Killing Games is. Mr. Rattlebones, thank you, Dave, for your vid and support. Yes, of course, absolutely. It was my honor to help move this forward. You know, I like being on the correct side of history, and I believe this will be the correct side of history. All of the critiques of this have been fear mongering for the most part, and I hope that we still do more outreach on this. I don't think it's over by any stretch of the imagination, because even though this will open up the conversation, there's still a lot more conversations to be had about what Stop Killing Games will ultimately end up being. I have a lot of ways to do this that I think will be positive for game developers in particular. Erasmus, thank you for your support. Yes, thank you guys. Fear mongering and blind contrarianism. Yeah, but there is a there are certain developers who have a visceral reaction to this sort of thing, and they think in terms of like a dystopian nightmare government trying to get their claws into everything and force you to do things. Like it's ironically, it's the libertarian argument of if you give people universal health care, then doctors are slaves, like, which is just ridiculous. I don't think there is any situation where that is the intended outcome of this or what anyone wants from this. And I'm of the opinion that there's smart ways to do this legislation. And I'm starting to, I think, I keep reloading the page. I want to see it hit 1 million, damn it. I need to start writing these down into a Word document and just sort of like, if I were writing this legislation, what would that look like? And how could I protect developers and consumers at the same time in such a way that they don't interfere with each other? That is to say, the developer should have certain rights to a game that they made, that they don't have to be forced to do things that might put an unfair burden on them. But at the same time, their game needs to remain operational. One of the things I was thinking about is releasing the ability for people to put up their own servers might have to be a solution for the MMORPG section. And while individuals might not be able to all put up their own private server, there would be just having it out there would be enough that anyone could put up their own private server who figures it out. And that's when there's enough private servers that everyone can play. We see this already with World of Warcraft. There are enough private servers out there that anyone can play on like the version that they like and with special modifications that they want. There's Turtle WoW, there's Epoch, there's the Alpha server. All of them are good servers to try and are at various stages of World of Warcraft's ancient history. That's one of the reasons why this initiative was so important to me, is that my work on World of Warcraft, I thought it was gone. It wasn't in retail because they destroyed it in Cataclysm, and they had no intention of putting up a classic server. Nostralius got taken down, which was a shocking thing. You signed it. You're from the EU. Thank you, Bought It. You did your part. I did my part. We all did our part, and I think it's gonna peel over into 1 million soon. I'm gonna stay on till it does. I think. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long because I do have to wake up pretty early to take my kids to school. But hopefully, it'll happen in the next hour, if not sooner. Though everyone's pinging the server at the same time right now, I can tell they're all hitting it very hard right now to see, because they all want to see it hit 1 million at the same time. All right, I'm gonna stop with that one because that one just loads forever. But we'll see. I know it says 0 now, but it was at 999,000 something. So we'll get there. We will get there. But yeah, I'm just starting to write down my thoughts in a Word doc, because the next step of this, I think, is going to be even more outreach and potentially talking to politicians, which that just gave me a migraine even thinking about that, to be honest with you. But it could be that we have to do that. You wonder how Thor is feeling right now? You know he's going to turn this around and say that this was his plan all along to save games. I'm just saying. But let's not talk about him. I know that everyone galvanized against his very vitriolic hatred of this movement, but we're about to win. Let's keep it positive. You supported this due to Battlefield Revive getting taken down in 2017. 2017. Been watching Raw since you were 7 years old. Wow, that's amazing. I'm not familiar with Battlefield Revive. Not sure about that one. I think the last Battlefield I played was like Battlefield Vietnam, to be honest with you. But you know, that's a game I'd like to play again, because I think that was a very unique Battlefield because it had the music playing when you were in the chopper. So, it won't load anymore. I think we killed it. Well, hopefully it's not loading the page anymore, so I'll have to reload the page. Oh, we broke it. Oh man. The crazy thing is that we even have to fight about something that should be common sense. Well, that was what surprised me. So I first heard about the initiative like almost a year ago, and I thought, oh, that's an easy win. I'll just sign this because I am a Finnish citizen, and so I signed it, and I was like, oh, we'll easily get to 1 million, no problem. And I must say, Finland came through. Finland was the number one. I think we're at like 300% of required or something. And then I'm so glad that Ross made that video. Whoever encouraged him to do that, kudos to you, because when I saw the video title was like the end of Stop Killing Games, and I'm like, what? How did this not already like get through? How is it not already done? You're getting a server is unavailable message, so you have to wait. Yeah, I'll keep waiting too. I think we broke the site because everyone got excited when it got so close to 1 million. But I thought that it was going to be an easy win, and then when that video came out, I saw that it wasn't an easy win and that Ross was struggling. And I'm like, oh, okay, I should have made a video. Like I felt bad. But then I made the video, and I think that helped a little bit. Obviously, I don't have much reach, but Louis Rossman did his part. Yeah, clearly he did. I watched Louis Rossman's video with the server developer, and the server developer's sort of reaction to the initiative is the thing that we will be working against in the coming future. Hold on, I'm getting a work-related question. You don't need to talk to anyone? It's free to play. You'll get notified when it goes live. All right. 999, 345. Oh, gosh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Someone took down the site to avoid getting a million signatures. God, I hope that's not true. I think I missed some stuff. The crazy thing is that we even right. All this drama and headache about the initiative, now that we are close to reaching it, I'm still not sure what's next, but I'm excited. It's legislation. It's going to be people having to go to the EU, I think, and like discuss what this legislation should entail. So the battle is sort of just beginning. And if we want to have positive outcomes, we need representatives of the players' side more than we need corporate lawyers who will go there and try to control this. That's my big concern now. It was for Battlefield 2 and 2142, and it was the fans keeping servers up, but EA gave them a cease and desist. It's fucking EA. That is such bullshit. Yeah, that's one of the things that we have to fight, is that we don't want these corporations being able to say, we're not going to let you play, and anyone who tries to make it available is going to get shut down. That's, I think, going to be a big part of the legislative point of this. You wrote a 16-point comment highlighting all the points you disagreed with that architect. I have a lot of experience developing, designing large cloud and on-prem systems, public and private. Well, we're going to need people like you to be there and help inform whoever speaks on this to go to these legislative events and make sure that the correct information happens and that we get the facts straight. The second wind I felt when Critical made a video after feeling so defeated when Ross made his video. Yeah, Moist Critical did a good job too. That was awesome. And then even PewDiePie gave the SKG guys a mention, and you know, that's great. He has probably the most reach of anyone, I would say. Do not put too many hopes into the EU. We also had a petition about getting rid of summertime, and the status is now, if all EU member states agree, we will do it, and they do not agree. That's fair. I think, though, that the players outnumber the scared game developers and also potentially the corporations. But the corporations will bring lawyers to this, so it's going to be difficult. We'll see. You're in Norway, so no can do? Oh, that's all right. You guys should start your own initiative anyways, depending upon how your legislative branches work. I don't actually know. You still play 20-year-old Wolfenstein Enemy Territory now and then, which is not only hosted by fans but also actively worked on. Yeah, that's what we're trying to protect. Is I think that there's a lot of people who can make keeping these games alive. They can make keeping these games alive a hobby, and then accept donations, and then it can become full-time jobs. Like what we see with Turtle WoW is they just take donations for maintaining those servers, and they've got a whole development team now, effectively, and even the ability to create crazy content like I do, writing, you know, machinima and stuff, and crazy stuff for Warcraft, which is amazing. Like that's the kind of legacy that you want. That's the kind of stuff I'm excited to see happen with old games that I worked on. And I don't want Blizzard being able to shut that down just because they don't like it when they're not supporting that sort of content. We need gamers who have legal, legislative, technical, and consumer rights advocates to be on the side of the video game consumer. Yes, we do. We need lawyers. We need lawyers versed in video games. We need legal eagle. We need legal eagle. We need game developers who know about server architecture and all that kind of stuff, who are on the side of stop killing games, who can prevent bad things. We need video game producers who can like talk about the game development process and make sure that however we support the end of life of these games doesn't become too cumbersome and end up destroying stuff. The UK petition achieved its goal as well. Yes, that was exciting. I think that was yesterday, right? Or was it 2 days ago? It pisses me off that Pirate Software almost won. It was literally only Ross being so stressed he broke his entire pride to ask for help multiple times. Only helped when he posted on YouTube. Right, but sometimes you need a focal point to draw your attention back to something. That's what happened with me. So I'm glad Ross posted that video. I don't want to get involved in the drama. I don't think it's useful. And we're winning, so people who were against it can suck eggs at this point. But now the real battle begins because we're going to have to create the actual legislation. You've recently joined a Jedi Knight Jedi Academy clan, a game from 20 years ago that still remains. Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Oh my god. This wouldn't be possible without game preservation. Yeah, but all of that is done by people as a hobby or on the side. And the corporations that own those IPs and stuff can squash it. Like right now, Disney could probably come after them because they, I believe, own all the rights to all games at this point. Though I'd have to look into Jedi Knight Jedi Academy in particular. They could squash it if it's in the US, but there are certain countries that they can't squash it in, which is why some of the private WoW servers are in different countries where they can't be reached. Is the site frozen for everyone? Yeah, it's frozen. It was at 999.3. What was it? 354. And now I don't know, which is unfortunate. And when I try to go to the EU petition, it just loads forever. I think it's so slammed. Maybe they're starting to reject people who are not in the EU, which would be probably a good way to make sure that the petition is only being signed by people within the EU. We'll just watch the loading bar for now. I want to know when it hits 1 million. So if you guys manage to get through and you see it hit 1 million, let me know. Though don't trick me. It's just overloaded servers for people being too excited. There is a lot of that. If you go on the SKG Discord right now, it is packed. I couldn't even understand what people were saying because there were so many people talking at once. There must have been like over 100 people in each of the voice channels, so it was impossible to like interact. So happy to see this pass. Singed when what? Singed when immediately when it opened. Oh, you signed when it opened. As an aside, you said you had to finish citizenship. How did that come about? My mother is Finnish. So the shortest version of the story is that my mother is Finnish, therefore I had a claim to Finnish citizenship. I went to check on my Finnish citizenship while I was in Thailand, and they said you are a Finnish citizen. So then I said, okay, let's get my passport because I might need to go. And then when I got my passport, they said, oh, we're canceling your Finnish citizenship. I'm like, oh, why? And they're like, you didn't meet certain requirements. I'm like, okay, what do I do now? And they said, you can apply for your Finnish citizenship again. You can reclaim it. I'm like, what is that process? And they're like, here's the paperwork. So I reclaimed my Finnish citizenship. I had to give them back my passport. Then I reclaimed my Finnish citizenship. I got a new passport. And then my kids are Finnish citizens now too. So yeah, that's the shortest version of that story. That was a very frustrating time, but it worked out. I know it's cliched, but SKG needed a villain to rally against, and yeah, someone volunteered. It worked. It worked out in our favor, and you know, nothing will rally the troops quite like someone being a dickhead to something that is obviously in the good interest of. It's good for developers too. That's what I don't understand. It is actually good for developers too. It's not like players versus developers. This is something that most of the developers that I know are absolutely with it. And because nobody wants their work to disappear into obscurity. Me most of all, I think, because if they say that you die twice, once when your body gives out, and then again when the last person speaks your name for the last time. But my work, I want it to always be out there, preserved in some form. Maybe that is, maybe that's narcissism. Is that narcissistic? Ooh. I hope not. But I just want people to enjoy that. I worked hard on this stuff, so it would really frustrate me if it disappeared. Think of the multi-million-dollar companies. No, I don't. The only thing I think about them is how evil they have become over time and how it's only getting worse. I'm here for gaming. Finished or finish? Finish. Even at max volume, you can barely hear me. Yeah, turn me up as much as you can, because this is, if I turn myself up any more than this, it starts to red out and then it will destroy things. Here, I'll give you just a little bit more. There. Now it should be okay, but I see it touching the red and that makes me nervous, because if I like yell or shout when I see a million, we might all break our eardrums. You don't want to be a bad prophet, but I think a lot of votes will be invalid. We need much more than 1 million. Yes, I 100% agree, Aki. We need to be at 1.2 million minimum in order to be sure that this is actually going to go through. So our work isn't done on this side either yet. We want to make sure that by the time we hit the 31st, we have 1.2 million or more. But I think once you hit 1 million and you sort of succeeded, it's sort of the snowball that has rolled down the hill and become an avalanche just keeps going. So we'll see. Your point was that if Pirate hadn't made that attack bid on SKG, the momentum would have never cratered. Yes, exactly. It was smoothly going up. I thought it was like a easy win. Like, I didn't know that anyone would come out against it like quite in that way. That was pretty ridiculous. Don't go to the EU site if you do not want to sign. You are basically DDoSing the site. Oh, okay. Fair. Is this also causing... Oops. Is this also causing a problem, though? I'm wondering if that's why they stopped it. Oh, shit. All right. Okay. It's back to 999,356. All right. We're real close. Those last signatures, though, we don't know how long it'll take. I thought that they had gauged it at roughly 1,000 an hour, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You're getting error 404 when you try to access the website. Yeah, it hit a level of momentum where now everyone is trying to do it at the same time, because you want to be on the right side of history. I think everyone wants to be on the correct side of history, and getting this through is going to be a good thing. You should have rooted around your Irish family to get an Irish passport. Then you could have signed the UK petition and you It's true. I hope it's not being DDoSed. I don't think anyone would do that maliciously. I think it's being unintentionally DDoSed by everyone's excitement. So, today is Warcraft 3's launch day, 7/3/2002. That is, wow, yeah. Yeah, happy birthday to Warcraft 3. I forgot. I didn't I did the 20-year anniversary stream, and then I sort of was like, I'm never doing this again. Though I did just go back and look at my Warcraft 3 playthrough videos, and I realized that the sound on the Frozen Throne one is terrible. Not that my sound is any better right now, apparently, though. We got 400K in less than a week. Yeah, that is shocking. That is surprising, but also amazing. And it just shows that it shows that if when I first heard about it, maybe if I'd made a video then, maybe that momentum would have kept up despite certain people trying to fight against it. So I feel bad, but I'm glad that it is seemingly going to work out. And then I want to continue. I have a video that I want to do regardless of how many signatures we have, where I'll play an evil CEO and I'll talk about all the reasons why the CEO wants to stop killing games. Because I think it should be funny. We'll see if I can pull off the character though. I'm still thinking of names like Krabby Botik. You know what I mean? Do you think multiplayer live service games will start publishing dedicated servers again, like how it was done before? I hope so. I think that is the best solution to end of life for any multiplayer games that are conducive to that. Now, MMORPGs are slightly different, but I don't think it is that difficult to simply put the burden of releasing enough of that where people could then get their own servers up. They have to pay the cost of those servers, and then being able to accept donations for keeping those servers up is what you would need for that to work. And that's how the World of Warcraft private servers work. They take donations, they don't have subscriptions. And that's what keeps it legal in the eyes of most laws, and how they're sort of circumventing shutdown. 107 viewers. I wasn't looking. That's cool. Yeah, welcome. I can't keep up with chat now. I'm trying to. Should be good on Stop Killing Games site. May I send one of the trackers? Yeah, send me a tracker. Some way that I can see where we're at. I think this is working again. Maybe they put it back up. I'm scared to hit reload though. I saw it update on its own once, so maybe if I don't touch it, it'll be fine. Most trackers use their own backend to buffer requests to massively cut down the amount of requests to the actual site. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't want to put any more burden on the servers because there are probably real people trying to sign, and we might be disturbing that. So let's not hit that EU petition anymore. Even though it is exciting, and I know everyone wants to see exactly when it hits 1 million. It seems to me that some devs just read the name of the movement and assume they'd have to keep servers alive indefinitely. I admit there is quite a lot to it, but the fact is pretty clear. Yes, there's a visceral reaction for certain developers when they see that, and they're like, oh my god, I'm going to be chained to a desk and forced to keep my game up forever, and that is not the case. I think that the way that the legislation should be written is to basically allow any sort of path for them to keep the games alive in a reasonable fashion. And then if someone does something obviously egregiously bad, you just take that to court. So if EA makes it such that in order to run a Battlefield server, you need to have like a million gigabit connection or something that it checks for and won't run without, then you take them to court and say, no, we can have less people than that, and you should release a real version of this. I think it will only I think that the lawsuits will be class actions, and all of the players who want that game alive will have to file in those class actions to make it happen. Though I'm thinking of American law, so I'm not 100% sure how EU law would work comparatively to what I understand of the American system. Because I did grow up in America, by the way, in case that wasn't obvious. Let's see. It's much better to let Dave refresh the website for us instead of the entire audience doing it. Yeah, as far as I know, this thing will update on its own when it hits a certain threshold. So I don't think I need to touch it, though I'm tempted to do so. But let's not disturb the petition unless you're signing. If you're signing, go ahead. You're not European, so you can't help. Well, if you're in the UK, you can help. But that petition's already passed. But you know, I think you can still sign it till the 14th, I believe, and you may as well. And if you're not in either of those, I think there's a French version and you can do that one if you're French. But if you're in the US, it's kind of like you just have to reach out to your local representative and let them know that you want something for this and to bring it to their attention. But I'm I'm also working on like a script because I think that we could potentially do the same thing in the US, but what it requires is a lot of like it requires like a political action committee to form. I'm talking too much. It requires a political action committee to form up and then create a script, and then everyone has to call their representative and say what they want. And so creating that script is important and making sure it's concise such that even a brain dead politician can figure it out. You already signed and you made your wife sign as well. Well, I hope she wanted to sign. I hope that wasn't under duress. That might get rejected. White hat DDoSing. Yes, indeed. Now you want to play Warcraft 3? Yeah, play it. If you don't know, you can get the original EXEs from Blizzard's forums. You can get the original Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos and TFT. They have to support that so that it doesn't become pirated too much. Ross is currently live with Tom Bailey. Oh, nice. Maybe we should, well, I don't want to watch him and then take away viewers from that. So let's see. I was just going to wait around for 1 million. I did it. I hit the thing and I made it go to 0. Damn it. We got over 200K in the last 2 days. Yeah, exactly. It is crazy. Can you at least explain how many steps did it take you to sign the form on this webpage? It was a few steps. I had to fill out a lot of paperwork. I mean, not paperwork, digital paperwork. There was a lot of things in there to put in, but I don't remember it. 999403. Okay, so we're roughly getting 100 every 20 minutes. Is that right? 100 every 20 minutes. Oh man. Maybe I won't stick around. It's annoying how in the US it's so hard to do. Yeah, they do that on purpose though. They don't like the citizens having control over legislation in the US. Protecting community-made servers, patches, and emulation is the best option, as well as making ROMs and redistribution legal after the game is sunset. 100% agree. And that needs to be part of what gets written into the legislation, such that Nintendo can't gatekeep or shut down ROM sites and things like that. Time to go full obvious mode? Yes, that's what I'm thinking about. Hi, Gray, you're back, and you wanted to ask, when it comes to this game, do you believe it can help Warcraft 3, even if it's unintended? No, because it's not going to be retroactive, and it can't be. You can't put the burden of bringing a game back to life on companies that may no longer exist or that no longer have the ability to bring something back to life. It can only be on games moving forward, because then you can plan for that end of life period. So unfortunately, and I know that everyone wants this to work backwards, it can't. But what you can do is, as part of the initiative, is prevent game companies from going after people who do end of life as a hobby. That is to say, people who save ROMs and do emulation. You can prevent those game companies from shutting them down, because if Nintendo doesn't support those games anymore and this person can save them, then we can put protections for people who do that as a hobby or take donations for it. But we can't protect people who charge money for it. Does that make sense? Because if you charge money for it, then it's theft. But if you take donations, it's okay. It's a murky legal gray area, but but whatever makes it work. So I don't think it will help Warcraft 3, but it will help people who make like Warcraft 3 related stuff. All right. I just skipped. Okay, I'm so far behind. I'm sorry, guys. I hope people keep voting. Yes, everyone should keep voting. We still need to do outreach. We still need more signatures. We want to get to 1.2 million. So we might hit 1 million and yay, but we're not done. If I recall, Ross thinks a US-based approach won't work, so he focused more on the EU approach. And Ross is probably right. The US-based approach would be much more difficult, and he would need to do fundraising to make that happen. I think he's done though. So um, we may have to form a group to do that, and I think that's the only way to do it, because you need to go state by state, and you need to petition each of your local like county congresspersons individually to make it happen. It took them some time to put the originals after breaking everything with Reforged. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But they're there, so they exist, and they're not talking about it, and it's just a forum post, but the actual EXEs are there. Thanks to Brexit, I have to sign the largely useless UK petition. Is the UK petition that useless? I think it will be. I think it will do good. It's over. The interview between that guy and Ross ended 5 minutes ago. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't want to take views away from him. I thought he was going to stay on until we hit 1 million. But I'm happy to do it. Well, to a certain point. I have a hard cutoff at in 1 hour or 55 minutes, because if I don't get enough sleep and I have to drive my kids to school, I'm gonna crash into something, and we don't want that. There's a live tracker website, but that's very slow right now as well. Did this update on its own? I'm gonna try. I regret it, but that's all right. Loaded for me again, 999,403, but because the site is so slow, clearly it's slow to gather signatures. Yeah, it's probably slowing down the process. So anyone who's already signed, who's here, yeah, don't click it again. Okay, did it go up or down? Wait a minute. 410. So what did we get? Like 6 signatures? All right, the site is clearly so bogged down that people can't get through. Time to fire up some turtle auction house action or fishing and checking the web from time to time. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I might do that. I would guess there's a vetting process to double check. I know my parents. Oh, I lost it. No. Where did you go? Let's see. Part we just used our ID. Oh, okay, okay. There is a vetting process, yes. So we could lose a lot of these million signatures. It depends. But I think I went through the process. I don't think you can fake that unless you're like making real fake EU IDs. So I think it would be difficult to sign this as a non-EU person. So I'm not super worried, but I still would like to see 120%. I'd still like to see 1.2 million. Before the 31st. So hopefully it just keeps going and steamrolling. You just got a 404 error on the initiative site. It looks like someone might be trying a DOS attack. Oh, really? Or maybe they can't cope with the demand. It was struggling before. I noticed several times that it was struggling in the past. Where Ross is now, I don't know. He's probably on the SKG server. I don't see him there. Never mind. I don't know. I meant regarding people who are technically pirating it to keep the original non-refunded game alive. Right. I think we could create protections for them. I don't think it's well, that is to say, if a game company is not supporting a game anymore, I think we can make it okay for people to have the original copies of the games. Like, it's the same with ROMs. If you own the original cart, having the ROM is not illegal. And we can do something similar where if you've purchased a license for the game, it can't be revoked or rescinded, and therefore holding the software is legal. And then it becomes about how do you track the licenses, and then someone's going to hate me for this, but potentially it becomes a blockchain thing where you have digital licenses. I know, don't hate me. It's actually not a bad solution to the problem, because that is effectively all that the blockchain is, right? Receipts. Now you have permanent receipts for your licenses for your games. All right. Don't hate me too much for that. I am a crypto advocate for this reason. for player rights. His movement tried US and it got thrown out hard. UK ignored it, and EU is his last hope. Well, the UK can't ignore the signatures now, can they? 600 signatures left. Yeah, exactly. 590, I guess. But still, we still want 1.2 million. The initiative does not demand devs to retroactively implement things for their old games. Exactly. It'll go to our parliament. Who knows from there? We have less of an ability to make our own case compared to the EU. Rather, the official EU site where you can sign it. Yes. That one's the one that's struggling. Pirate Software won for a moment. Then it went to the good ending again. IIRC, it was 420, it's 410 now. I don't know what's going on with it. It's not down, but it's slow, yes. UK petition will now rely on people writing to their MPs to be able to put the points forward and making sure they don't misunderstand what we're asking for. Yeah, we need organization for that. We need someone in the UK who understands the initiative and can write the points and then distribute that to everyone so that they all have similar points or can add additional points to that. Here in Finland, the signing process just asked me for my name, address, and other basic info. That kind of thing would be easy to spoof. Oh, that's interesting. Because when I signed it, it wanted an ID. Even Elon Musk retweeted an Asmongold tweet about it. Well, you know, we'll take whatever allies we can get. In the countries where it just goes by name and address, you can get invalidated by mistyping and similar. In older petitions, Germany, for example, above 10% invalid. Right. That's why we want 20% more. So 1.2 million. Hopefully nobody has been an idiot and lied to the ECI. That would be bad. You've had people kill a petition? Well, okay. After 1 million signatures, they're not going to kill this. There's no way. It would have to be like 50% or fake, which would be very, very bad. You have your own signs check. It currently showed that 999,423 were signed and 0.06% left. Interesting. Still playing SOCOM, Filter, Omega Strain, and Resident Evil Outbreak. Nice. Thanks to the fan servers. Started with the shoot down of The Crew 2 by Ubisoft. Yeah. Ubisoft. Least favorite company in the world. If you could perform mitosis, would you double the votes for SK? One of me is enough. I'm worried about the amount of signatures being illegitimate. We all are. That's definitely why we want more. Hopefully the signatures keep up so we can buffer our invalid signatures. Yeah, we're not done. We're not done. Too many people refreshing the site. I know. Let's see. All right, I'll refresh the site again and see what happens, but it'll probably go back to 0. There are a few countries that don't require ID for signing. Right. DRM serves no purpose at end of life of a game. Precisely why it should be removed at the end of life. Which is something that I would want written into the legislation. It doesn't live update, I think, and I can't reach the EU petition. Yeah. Well, now it's 435. So they went up. Okay. Maybe the site being slowed down will create a Streisand effect and we'll just get even more signatures for the buffer. I think that's what's going to happen. Poopy suck. I call them Ubi suck. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know this is great news. Oh, one sec. Let me... I just realized that if I do this search, it will be... it might bring up explicit material. So let me just double check. Sentencing. Here we go. You guys are going to love this. I mean, if you hate Ubisoft as much as I do. 3 Ubisoft executives have been found guilty on harassment charges. Former Ubisoft executives Tommy Francois, Serge Hasquet, and Guillaume Patru were found guilty of moral and sexual harassment and attempted sexual assault at the conclusion of a hearing on July 2nd. What became known as the Ubisoft scandal started in 2020, and it was discovered that Ubisoft was fostering a party-like atmosphere featuring alleged harassment and potential assaults. Now, 5 years later, the 3 executives who resigned, Tommy Francois, Serge Hasquet, whom I've talked about many times before, and Guillaume Patru have been sentenced. Here's the bad news. Suspended sentences. That's the bad news. The report states that the court handed down suspended sentences of up to 3 years in prison against 3 of the video games giants' former executives. So they're not going to see any prison time. I think they do have to pay the fine, but I don't think they're going to serve any prison time unless new allegations come forward. So if you ever worked at Ubisoft and got harassed by these pieces of shit, now is the time. Strike. Ubisoft tries not to tank itself challenge. Impossible. If it's a DDoS attack, that's actually awesome. It would just draw more attention to it once the site is back up. Indeed. Thanks for hosting the stream. I don't want to lag the website with my curiosity. Yeah, we'll go back to this. I mean, it's still going. I'm not sure how much longer it will stick around. I did say I'd stick around for another hour. So here's what I'm gonna do. Maybe I will play some WoW while we wait. Some Turtle WoW. One of the games that I think we can protect with the Stop Killing Games initiative. Whoops. Yowzers. Oh, why is it in the background like that? Here, well, can we move this down? Move this to the top here. By the way, do you believe that the US can win this class war against the rich as of now without war? No, I don't think so. It's going to take a lot more than voting and petitions, unfortunately. Oh, great. I'll play my druid, because a lot of people were requesting that last time. It's just a low-level druid. 1 second. Dear OBS, what the heck? Oh, whoops. All right. How obnoxious will that be? I don't know. I'm going to move this over here. Yeah, we're real close. We're real close. Oh, boy. Let me move chat over here so I can see it. Stop Killing Games will not save World of Warcraft as WoW is marketed as a service in the EU and not a good. Indeed. But I think it can protect people from prosecution. It had 99k less signatures before you went to sleep, and yeah, here we are. We're almost over the finish line. Well, the first finish line. The second one will be another 200,000 after this. The site of the EU is down. Yeah, I know. People blaming it on DDoS, while F5ing on the EU site would be another level of ignorance. Indeed. You're getting 999,429? Yeah. I don't know how that API works exactly, but the website, you know, that's probably the best bet. All right, I don't need any of that. What do we got in my inventory here? Okay, we're mostly free. Even Turtle WoW is backed up, if you know what I mean. Indeed. It doesn't help that one of the more popular trackers also spams requests every second or so. Yeah. Which means even people using the tracker end up still contributing to the traffic. Are you saying I'm still causing problems? Yeah, I probably am. I just want to know when it hits 1 million, though. The AAA corporal shills DDoSing with all they have. That would be funny. There is a certain person who claims to be a superior hacker who might be who might be out there causing problems. Oh, we gotta get my pet out. There we go. Where was I adventuring at? Dig rats. Baal Madan. Oh my god. Grand herbal theft. Shagoos. That's Quilboar killing. I guess we need to go to the crossroads. Yeah, all the quests are in the crossroads. We'll head over there. I don't think anything on the way is going to give me XP anyways. It hit 1 million 30 minutes ago? What? Did it really? If everyone just stops, it'll be done in an hour. You stream at 21.9? Yes, I do. I do stream at 21.9. I know it drives some people crazy. Oh, we need to get herbalism up. I'm definitely causing more load, but also I'm here rather than on the website, so at least everyone on this chat should close all trackers. Right. If you are, you can watch from mine, which will, it did seem to update on its own, so I'm not sure. I don't know if it hit 1 million. I don't think it did. It was going up by about 100 every 10 or 20 minutes, so I think that it's going to be a little bit more before that happens. We'll see. You guys can't hear the game. Here you go. Gotta have the music. It's not WoW without the music. Vinny sending memberships. Thank you. Beast Mode, be sure to thank Vinny for the gifted membership. You now have access to the members only videos. And another one. Wait. Who did it go to? Dacon. Be sure to thank Vinny when you get the chance. Thanks for streaming my monitor's aspect ratio. I'm so immersed right now. Right? Why? I know a lot of people like to use widescreen, so I don't know why no one does. What did he want me to kill? Oh, these guys. Oh, they don't even give XP. Whatever. It's been so long since I played my druid that I actually forgot what I should be doing here. I think I should have started with Entangling Roots. Wait, I was trying to go to cat form. He's already dead. None of these things should get anywhere near me, let's be honest. Alright, let me look over my abilities because I can't remember what they are. Wrath, I think, is the main one. Moonfire is the instant. Starfire is the start because it's the longest cast time. Okay, got it. And we can root. So we may as well do it. Your eyes have a 16:9 aspect ratio, so that's what you do. Me too. What is that? Oh, that's a glitch. That's a bug. 999, 462 signatures. Interesting. Let's make it a third for SKG. All right, thank you, Viddy. Solus, be sure to thank Viddy for the gifted membership. I need to refresh it. All right, I'll refresh it, but I feel bad every time I do it because I do. It'll go to 0, and then I think it loads after a bit. So we'll let it ride and see what happens. Maybe we ought to tell them to put the website on pause to take a load off. Yeah, maybe. I am a little concerned as well. Well, that freed him. I should have gone with Wrath then. No, well, he died. That's 2. I think the problem is that a lot of people farm these for actual XP, whereas I'm just trying to do the quest real quick, get the fishing pole for free. Slap that refresh button. Well, now it says 999466, so it went up because it was what, 53 before? I think that it's actually so hard to sign up right now that people are like struggling to get in. But, you know, as a reminder, we can't stop just because we hit it. Do you guys start with Entangle, or do you... The way I've been doing it is to... No. Entangle after the Starfall. What is it? What's it called? Starfire. How do you feel about fantasy cyborgs who have magic technology and look good? Gray, always the interesting questions. I feel pretty good. I mean, that's Shadowrun to me. Shadowrun was always cyberpunk with high fantasy, with trolls and orcs and magic. So I loved Shadowrun. I think even more than I liked Cyberpunk. Ooh. Crit. 99476 pause champ. Ice that is magical rather than material, capable of freezing the very soul or magic and not just matter. You're talking about arcane ice? That's interesting. I haven't thought about that too much or how that would work. Like, could you drop it through someone and freeze their soul? I think it would kind of act this similar to what do you call it? The liquid freezing. I can't remember the name. I'm brain dead right now. You're talking about a normal fantasy with something like the fantasy cyborgs. Is that... I mean, they've got robots and Spelljammer and stuff. Is that what you're talking about? What were they called? Were they called the Forged? I can't remember what they called them. Hey! Yeah, whatever. No, can't go that way. Oh, I forgot I'm a skinner. I need to skin these. Everyone is spamming F5 on the site. It's not built for that much traffic. Clearly not. Clearly not. It's Starfire into Moonfire and then you entangle. Okay, that makes sense. Starfire, Moonfire, entangle. Does the dot not potentially cause it to break? I guess it wouldn't. But the initial part of the dot could. Liquid nitrogen, that's what I was thinking of. Yes. At least buff the guy? Oh, shit. It's been so long since I played the Druid that I completely forgot how to play him. This guy's poisoned. Here, I'll buff everyone. I don't need mana. Oh, he gave me int. Excellent. Not normal cryomancy. Cryomancy usually just cools down moisture in the air. This is purely magical with any natural ice being incidental. I know, that's what I'm thinking, but like, how would it work with your soul? Would it go through your material flesh and like freeze the soul inside you? Would you then be able to separate people from their soul? Their body from their soul that way? I don't know. It's interesting. Spelljammer, yes. That's what I was thinking of. They have the... I think they're called the Forged. I forget what the race is called. But I know you can play it. That seemed less than optimal. No, that worked out. Oh, he's going to die anyways. I mean, they're very low level. Just need 2 more. Petition ends at the end of this month. Yeah, 31st. So we still want 200,000 more signatures after this. Even if we... Well, when we hit 1 million, which it seems inevitable that we will, we still want to keep pushing. Pirate Software said he was going to urgent care a few hours ago because he couldn't stop coughing. Well, that's unfortunate. I hope he feels better soon. So... I worked with his dad at Blizzard, so I can't... Can you imagine if you caught an old friend saying something negative about one of your children? I don't want to be in that position, so... gentle ribbing is okay, but... I don't want to go too deep on this. What the heck just happened? Oh, that's weird. Narcissists always take advantage of events to appear on the right, regardless, even if they engage in hypocrisy. He's going to quadruple down and say you're welcome. Yeah, I mean, that is probably the inevitable outcome, unfortunately. 1 million should be enough, but a higher number just shows how much more important it is. Well, there could be a lot of invalid signatures, so that's the main concern, is we want to make sure that we go 20% above, so that even if there are a bunch of invalid signatures, that we don't... get shut down. Oh, look at that. Okay. Oh, there we go. I was like, where's my bear form? Not that I was in any danger, but there we go. We finished. Wait, isn't this faster? What did I put the key on? I can't remember. Can only use while swimming. Okay, it's too shallow. That's unfortunate. We'll run around as a horned lion, I guess. Now people have a live example of distributed denials. Yeah. How do you feel about the idea of during a huge worldwide war, a losing battle at a capital was frozen over by an apocalyptic ice storm spell that uses... This is so very, very specific. I have no feelings about this. It depends. Depends. Let's see. They've been frozen for 10,000 years? Possibly semi-aware? Oh god. That sounds nightmarish, to be honest with you. Yay! Free fishing pole. Train me in fishing now. Oh, this is leatherworking. No, I don't want that. Nothing is greater than fishing. Thanks, but did he give me the fishing skill as well? I guess I had it from somewhere already. So did I already have a fishing pole? I did. Wait. I had a better fishing pole. Alright, well I'm not going to say no to an additional free fishing pole, I guess. Which I can apparently sell in the auction house for 44 silver. Interestingly enough. Move these up here. It's starting to rain here. There's a small chance that I lose power. Just so you know, if I disappear. It's not because I don't love the initiative. Did that spawn right before my eyes? There's some sort of weird border here where there's an instance or something. Do I need to pay for Turtle? No, it's free. It is free to play, and they accept donations. You can donate and get rewards. So you can go to turtle-wow.org and grab it and start playing. And you don't have to worry about retail people. Is this Boomkin life? Is this how it works? Should I have Starfired again rather than the Wrath? I put a lot of points into the Wrath, reducing the cooldown, so I thought that might be the way to go. The signature's validity is not checked until the deadline has passed. Right, so we have till the 31st to get as many additional signatures as we can, which that's great. This is a great position to be in, to already be at the 1 million person mark and then only have to worry about what more can we get. But we still need to do the outreach, and we don't want people to think it's over and not sign because it's like, oh, it's already done. That would be detrimental to the cause. There are only 5 EU countries that have less than 100% threshold in number of statements of support collected. Interesting. Which ones are they? No, don't direct us. We'll take that site down as well. Okay. I won't. Actually, I should look at my Baron's quest because I forgot what I need. Supplies. Sepulcher. Echiyaki's hide. His lair is northeast of... Oh, I know where that is. I am very northeast of the crossroads. Alright. You've seen people fat-fingered their ID and it was not accepted, so there's a live validation. Yes. I am a little now kind of worried about my own signature, potentially. I'm pretty sure I triple-checked, but just knowing that it could not be counted makes me nervous. 10,000 signatures needed in Bulgaria. I should switch to bear form, huh? I've been talking too long. It's starting to wear out my throat. Boomkin, just as any other damage-dealing caster, should exert the necessary amount of the damage to conserve mana. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to figure that out again. I had it down before, but now I'm like going brain dead. Let me try this though. I feel like this is more optimal. Okay, that was not optimal. That's the swipe. It's the 2. It's the maul I want. Oh, I do need them. I thought so. Alright, hold on. I'm getting back into it. If I focus for a little bit, I can figure this out. Here, we'll do roots. And then we'll do another Starfire. Luxembourg, 2,000 signatures needed. Do I know anyone in Luxembourg? I don't think so. And Cyprus needs to get their bits together. Well, I don't know how much, you know, some countries just don't have a lot of gamers. So, but I think we don't need them necessarily, but it would be nice to have them. My support for Stop Killing Games was all a scheme to lure you back into playing. Wow, well played. I promise you I have no ulterior motive, but I will say that if you wanted to play WoW, Turtle WoW is the way to go. turtle-wow.org, because they do not, there's no subscription fees, so they're just preserving content that I worked on a long time ago, and that's why I originally came here, is because of that content. Because it was the only way to play my old quests. And I was so happy to see it there, so. They got my support. And now I'm doing stuff like creating cool radio programs with them, which is awesome. I'm actually really enjoying that a lot. Does Turtle WoW work on Linux? I don't know. I believe it does. Toy boat. I don't have any voice things, so anyone trying to do weird stuff with that. But thank you, Orange Cow, for the $5. I appreciate it. I don't know what that means. Toy boat. I'm a poor uni student. Is WoW currently something that would be a good option? Also, what is Turtle, a homebrew server? It's a private server. So the goal of Turtle WoW... Oh no, it disconnected my headphones. I can't hear. I think it probably broke the audio for the game too. Ugh. And now my ears are itching because those are in-ear headphones. Yikes! Turtle WoW is basically a private WoW server that tried to preserve the classic WoW and then add on top of it as though they didn't go weird with all the retail stuff that they did. And they did a really good job of keeping everything in the same vein as like what we would have created back then. Why are you running? So I highly recommend it. And I've been enjoying playing it for the last year. So you can actually start on the journey of Zenrai if you wanted to, which is my now 60 rogue who's in like full tier 3 that I started almost a year ago. Can I root this? I can. What is the view count today? Let's go. Yeah, and I just wrecked my my audio, so there's that. I don't need to do anything. He's gonna die on his own. Look at those dots. That's 30 a tick. You're dead. Oh, that was awesome. Druids really are the bards of World of Warcraft. You're new here. Would you mind quickly sharing what quests you worked on? I have the list in my Discord, but generally it was like the Sergrid Darkthorn quests and some quests in Aberdeen, as well as some incidental quests here and there, like Darsok Swiftdagger and the Crossroads as well. 999764. Dare I update? Is it time to update? Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna update. Please don't hate me. All right, it somehow updates after. I don't know what the deal is. TurtleWow has download options for Linux on their website. Then yes, you can play it on Linux, and maybe you should. Stop giving Microsoft money. Whoa, 999,868. Okay, we are real close now. It's slowly recovering. Yeah, I think people understood that they were causing the website to lag and are now backing off. At least I hope that's what's happening. It looks like we'll make it, and I'll be able to go to bed in time to so that I can wake up to take my kids to school. Why is this movement restricted to Europe only? It's not. No one's stopping you from doing your own outreach in your own country, in your own way. And I'm thinking about helping for a potential US movement, but I need to think about that more and how much time I have to do something like that. You know, because I'm working full time, and yeah, so I mean, we saw Ross have his own problems with that. You hate Dave? Why, Kinglich? What did I do? The tracker page. Oh, because I clicked it? Yeah, no, fair enough. I feel bad doing it, but I really want to know. 999-912, 70 left. It's happening. Oh my god. I don't want to update. Let's give it another minute or two. Damn. Can't believe it's actually happening. You know, it's just funny because I thought for sure it was an easy win over a year ago. It's so weird that it, well, I mean, we know what happened, but it's just weird that it went the way it did. But I'm glad that it recovered, and I think that we have to give Ross a big round of applause for that in some fashion. 999-971. How are you updating so quickly? You're gonna make me update, and then everyone's gonna start updating, and that's gonna cause problems again. Damn it. All right, I'll take a look. Oh my. I am eagerly awaiting that thing to update. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh my god. 993? You kidding me? Oh, I thought I was gonna update to 1,000,000. You're gonna make me refresh again, aren't you? No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Until I have another intact raptor horn, I'm not gonna touch it. That's my rule. My arbitrary rule. Don't say 1,000,000, don't. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not updating until I get another intact raptor horn. I can't. Can't do it. I didn't get one. No! Alright. There's a raptor over there. We'll run over there. Oh, here's one. This one's closer. Let's go for him. We did it? We did it? I mean, I had a very small part in this, let's be real. But I was happy to help, and I want to continue to help. So, because I still think we do need to have the additional 200,000, and that's very important for making sure that the initiative actually passes. Big win for Stop Killing Games. We hit 1,000,000. We did it. I mean, the SKG guys, they made all this happen, and I'm so glad they did. And let's get to 2,000,000. Yeah, why not? I mean, if we can hit if we kept going at the rate that we were going, do you think we could hit 2,000,000? Kind of curious if that's even possible by the 31st. Because we got how many signatures in the last day? Was it I mean, it was at 56% like last week. Is that right? So that means that we got like 400k signatures. Oh, we could easily hit 2,000,000 by the 31st then. Assuming there's that many people interested. Did my task. Thank you for the €2. I appreciate that. The extra 200,000 signatures is what we want in case of invalidated signatures, because we don't know, you know, there could be bad actors, there could be people who messed up, and then it gets thrown out. We just want to make sure that we have such an overabundance that they can't take it away at the end, which is something that corporations would certainly love to see happen. So we need to make sure that doesn't happen, or you know, we'll all be very, very sad, especially after getting this win. All right, drop an intact horn so I can check. Why did I set this arbitrary rule for myself? I don't know why I would do that. It's almost like a form of gambling. For the games, for justice, and for Ross. Yes. I'm so glad this came through for Ross in particular, because honestly, his video was a little bit heartbreaking when I saw it, and that was why I was like, okay, I need to make a video immediately. And yeah, I'm definitely glad it worked out, because to work that hard and then not see it succeed, I think would have been life changing in a negative way. Let's say. Drop in TAC? What? Use other pages for tracking signature counts. Send me the page that I should be using. Oh, I got the horn. All right. No, I said I was going to refresh on this one, so I'm going to hold myself to that. All right. Let's see if we're over 1 million. If it's over 1 million, I'm going to go to bed. Oh, thank you. I didn't even see what that was. Does TurtleWow use the old WoW launcher or something else? They made their own launcher. So it uses its own launcher so that you can get add-ons more easily, which is really nice. Bro was complaining about a mere rent pay. Well, come on. It was stressful, and he wasn't taking donations for the movement. And Louis Rossmann was correct that if you're going to do something like that, you should take a fair wage for your time and effort. Well, I'm not going to bed yet. It hasn't refreshed. I want to see the 1 million, damn it. I want to see the 1 million. Come on. I won't be happy until I do. Ross is a effing legend. If this actually gets to pass, he deserves all the love and success. 100% agree. To put yourself in front of a movement like this is like nerve-wracking, because you want to represent it as well as you can. And I know he had imposter syndrome about it, because, you know, he's like, I'm not a developer, so how can I represent the developer side? So that's another reason that I sort of perked up and was like, oh, this is something I actually can help with. That's why you need a plan of action for any projects you undertake, such as Louis Rossmann said it. Yes, I mean, Louis Rossmann was right. He was quite harsh, but he was doing it in a loving way. I recognize that. It was 900,000 a couple minutes ago. I know, it's going. We got 1 million? It hasn't updated for me. I don't want to hit update again either, because that could be more signatures that I'm blocking. Also, hi, and thanks for the video, Dave. Super good sharing with people new to the initiative. I am so glad that people found that useful, because I was worried that it wouldn't. I tried to be as succinct and to the point as possible, and then give my own personal insight into it from a developer's perspective. And I'm glad that worked out. So if it keeps being a tool that people can use to get even more signatures, then awesome. That is the absolute best outcome I could have hoped for. Back to work. I need another 1 million by the end of the next week. Yeah. No, I'm still thinking about doing that second video. So I was excited about the idea of the second video, so I was I'm not gonna say I'm not sad at all that we hit 1 million, but the imperativeness of it feels a little less. But I'm still gonna try and push and do that. I think I have time next week to make it, so I will try. 1,093,000. Why won't mine update now? Did they kill it on the Stop Killing Games page? I feel like they might have. It was updating on its own before. No, it's not. Maybe everyone wants to see the 1 million, so they've all hit the thing. All right, I'll hit it one more time. And wait, what? Oh, it's not even trying. We'll leave it be. We'll leave it be. I keep missing messages. I don't know what those are. Are those people subbing? Thank you. Even before SKG, he did try so many avenues. He checked laws in Australia, checked local laws in Germany, France, UK. No, he did his homework. It's impressive how much Ross put into it. So I'm so glad that this came through in the end for him, because I mean, not for him, but you know, him also. People are F5ing hard to get the screenshots. Yeah. Oh, there it is. 1,109,000. Oh, that is beautiful to see. That is beautiful to see. And I do need to go to bed. I need to, I have 10 minutes to basically get ready for bed and go to sleep, or I'm not going to get enough sleep tonight. But thank you all for coming. We did it. Everyone did their part. I did my part. We all did our part, and now we need to get to 1.2 million. And I'm so glad they put that overdrive percentage in there. That is very, very smart. SKG guys, very, very smart. These guys are really good. I love it. I love that they do this. They thought of this and they knew. God, geniuses. All right. Thank you all for joining me. I hope Ross does a video or something now to celebrate. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you for coming and watching. And yeah, maybe I'll make that video next week. And maybe that can also be used to drum up even more signatures, I hope. Good night, everyone. And yeah, good job. Everyone, good job. Fuck. I couldn't be more proud of a community of gamers if I tried.